Hello viewers, I hope you guys are doing well. I get too many inquiries from people all over the world seeking information about distant relatives and friends as a supporter under Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program. So I decided to make this video. So let's get started. So basically there are three ways to demonstrate your connection to the province. Number one is Manitoba support. Number two is Manitoba experience. And number three is Manitoba invitation. While a connection to Manitoba is required in order to be eligible to apply through MPNP, this is not a sponsorship program, which means potential candidates still needs to demonstrate that they are skilled workers with English or French language ability, have sufficient settlement funds, and have the intention to settle permanently in the province of Manitoba. As the Manitoba Skilled Worker Overseas category has a point-based assessment, which means that potential candidates also needs to obtain a score of at least 60 points for language ability, employability, education, age, and adaptability. And having a distant relative or a friend gets you 10 points. So let's come back to the supporter who is your distant relative or a friend and what requirements he or she needs to meet in order to be a supporter. So number one, the supporter must be able to provide documents proving that they reside and are established in Manitoba and have been living in the province continuously for a period of at least 1 year. And they need to provide a documentary proof of that, for example, a copy of their health card. Number two, the supporter must prove that the supporter is a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident, and they will also be required to provide a documentary proof of that, for example, a copy of their permanent resident card. Number three, the supporter must be able to demonstrate sufficient and close ties to the applicant and to the province of Manitoba. And number four is the supporter must be able to support the applicant's settlement plan. So both the applicant and the supporter must provide documents proving their relationship. Friends and distant relatives must not be currently supporting the settlement of another MPNP applicant, a nominee, or a person under another Canadian immigration program. If your supporter has endorsed a Manitoba Skilled Worker Overseas candidate before, he or she will need to show that the candidate was successfully settled in the province permanently. You cannot be supported by immigration representatives, Canadian elected officials, their staff, or anyone who is not a close friend or relative of you or your spouse. Additionally, children cannot support their parents through this category, and a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident cannot support his or her spouse. In addition to Manitoba support, an applicant should declare Manitoba supporter and his or her address as their local contact for correspondence with the MPNP so that your supporter is authorized to discuss your application. Let's now come to the applicant part. So as an applicant, you have to provide a settlement plan as part of your Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program for skilled workers, which is divided into two parts, and there are two sets of forms. Part one has to be completed by the applicant, where the applicant needs to provide information about the supporter, for example, as to how long they know each other, whether or not they met in person, and how they met. While part two has to be completed and signed by the supporter, which includes information about the supporter himself, the applicant and details as to how the supporter will assist the applicant's settlement plan of moving to the province of Manitoba. There is no financial obligation on part of the supporter. The supporter is expected to endorse your plan of helping you in moving to Manitoba and assist the applicant with basic settlement goals as described in the applicant's settlement program. For example, orientation about life in Manitoba, showing them around, assisting them with housing, bank account opening, connecting them with settlement and employment services, providing guidance about schools, grocery stores, libraries, driving license, travel within the province, health card, registration with the Government of Canada for various services, important places to visit, and so on and so forth. In addition to demonstrating a strong connection to Manitoba, every candidate who wants to be considered under the skilled worker overseas stream must score at least 60 points based on 5 factors in order to qualify. So, if you do not have a connection in Manitoba, you are not eligible under this stream regardless of your points in total. For those of you who don't know how to apply for MPNP skilled worker stream, here are the basic steps that you need to follow. Number 1, create an expression of interest EOI profile. The highest scoring qualified candidates with connection to Manitoba will be issued a letter of advice to apply, also known as LAA, which enables them to submit an application under the MPNP program. Applications are thoroughly reviewed and assessed by MPNP officer, and successful applications are nominated by the province. Within 180 days from the date of nomination, the candidate must make a separate application to the Government of Canada for permanent resident visas for themselves and their family members. So, if you need any help with preparing, submitting, or reviewing your application for MPNP and for PR, please feel free to contact me. Hopefully this video has provided you with some of the basic information. Please like my page and subscribe to my channel to get more information about immigration, job opportunities, business, travel, and lifestyle in Manitoba as well as other provinces. See you next time with another video.